And just like that, we're live there. Make sure this is going. I'll go inside. Sometimes I like to go in and share this on my Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Get more people tuning in.
Sure.
On Saturdays, though, not a lot of people tune in.
First soccer game started today too.
Right. I'm coaching soccer.
How are you?
Never played in my life.
Well, my husband played all his life. He's coached in a year, so if you have questions,
I'm coaching 3-year-olds.
let him know. He can help you out.
I will. I'll reach out to them.
3-year-olds are herding cats.
That's what I figured.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, I did pop up. Nope. Well, let me first introduce you then, okay?
All right.
I'm Gabriel Fancher, and this is my friend Dena Oneal, right?
Yes.
All right. It's always good to get the name right. And you work with the Alzheimer's Association.
I do.
For Tennessee.
Yes.
Right? Did I get that right? Close
You
enough?
did.
Yeah.
I specifically work with Rutherford County and the Tullahoma-Lynchburg areas.
Okay, awesome. All right. So what a growing area.
It is.
Right? Fast growing. How long have you lived in the area?
I've lived in the area twice.
Okay.
So the first time we lived here was probably 1993.
Okay.
Lived here for several years, moved away due to jobs, came back in about 2006.
All roads lead to Murfreesboro.
They do. My father-in-law was a professor at MTSU.
Okay.
Which is where we host our Walked Into Alzheimer's.
Right.
And so we've been around the area for quite a while.
Okay. And what side of Murfreesboro do you live on?
Currently, we live on the north side, so we are over by Siegel High School.
Okay. Because the soccer affiliation.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. So what do you have going on with the Alzheimer's Association here in Rutherford County right now?
Right now, what we are trying to do is connect with organizations, families, physicians' offices, anybody like that who needs any resources about Alzheimer's.
All right.
We have many different resources like support groups, a 1-800 hotline, which is 1-800-272-3900. It is available 24/7.
Okay.
It can help in over 200 different languages.
Wow.
It is staffed by master's level clinicians.
Okay.
So if anybody has a question, needs a resource, is caring for somebody with Alzheimer's and doesn't know what to do in the moment,
Sure.
they could call that number
And get
and
some advice.
they will give advice
Yeah.
and connect you to resources.
Have you watched This Is Us?
I think I'm the only one in Rutherford County who does not
You
watch
haven't
it.
watched it. Well,
No.
they're having issues with Alzheimer's, and
Yes.
and the characters in it are trying to find information, and
Yes.
when you first get the bad news, you're like, I want to know as much as possible about it. You were telling me earlier that you guys have an app that's perfect for something like that.
We do. We have an app called Science Hub. If you go into the App Store, either Android or Apple, look for Science Hub Alzheimer's Association. It will pop up. It's a free app.
All right.
And what you can find on there are anything from articles to studies about what's currently going on in the world of research, because right now there is no treatment or cure for Alzheimer's.
Right.
So these studies are incredibly important at this time.
Sure. We've got a lot of, I feel like when another disease pops up, sometimes some of the things that are have been important are not as important. Like right now, people are worried about coronavirus and stuff. But the interest in knowing about Alzheimer's has been growing like a lot through the years. And so why do you think that is?
Well, I think we are getting better at identifying the disease. Currently, there is not any type of a blood test, for example, for Alzheimer's. So I could go in, I could have a blood test, I could be told yes or no, I have diabetes.
Right.
You cannot do that with Alzheimer's right now.
Okay.
They would have to rule out all other diseases and illnesses, which they might do through blood tests.
Okay.
They do observational type, what's the word I'm trying to find?
Well, they do like testing and things like that.
Yeah, they will. For example, I have a family history of Alzheimer's.
Okay.
So in order to be proactive.
Mm-hmm.
I go to a neurologist every year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so what that involves is I'll go in and he might ask me something about what we discussed last year at my appointment.
Wow.
To see if I remember what we discussed. He might tell me to remember a couple of words, and then he's going to ask me about them at the end.
Okay.
He might ask me to repeat numbers backwards. You might be asked to draw a clock. That is very difficult for somebody with dementia or Alzheimer's.
Okay.
He will do a physical exam. I have to touch my nose. I have to touch his finger. I have to stand on 1 foot, which I'm real klutzy, so that doesn't work out for me. But the whole thing adds up. In addition to other questions he'll ask me on checklists that they might have.
Yeah.
To let him know, has there been a change?
Okay.
So we've established my baseline, basically,
right,
of what is normal for my brain.
Sure.
And he's looking to see if there's any type of progression.
I see. Okay.
So far, so good.
So the family that has been touched by Alzheimer's,
Yes.
Were you close to them?
I lost both of my mother's parents to Alzheimer's specifically.
Oh, wow.
An uncle to another form of dementia.
Oh, wow.
An aunt may possibly be dealing with it.
Wow.
So, it's been a struggle. My mom did not know about the Alzheimer's Association when my grandparents went through it. It was several years ago before I worked for the Alzheimer's Association.
Sure.
So she was struggling. She is a very educated person, but she does not know about Alzheimer's. Right. So she didn't know who they should be taking her parents to, what type of therapies they should have, what type of medications they should have, what kind of care they should have, what kind of financial documents they should have set up in order to help the whole process. Right. So now my mom is able to use that hotline to go on our website, which is alz.org. Mm-hmm. She can find all of our resources there. She said it's like night and day. Wow, that's great. That's really great. And so for anybody out there that's struggling with it, I mean, all these things are free and they're available. Yes. And then you guys also have groups that meet here locally? There are support groups in the community. Mm-hmm. So anybody can call that hotline, 1-800-272-3900. I think your brain is sharp. I mean, really, yeah. They can give their zip code and ask for a support group in their area. And there are several within Rutherford County. Okay. And all, surrounding areas that they can access. And so, it's people who are dealing with it currently. It might be somebody who has dealt with it. But those support groups are an opportunity to find other people who are walking that journey at the same time. Sure. And being able to sit down with somebody who's literally living a similar life, the feeling of I'm not alone is incredible, because you do feel very alone in this. Alzheimer's is a disease that's very overwhelming for families, in addition to very overwhelming for the patient themselves. Of course. It's a disease that doesn't hit just that one person. Right, it affects everybody around them. Everybody around them, because that person is going to have the support of their family. Yeah. As the disease progresses, because eventually they will lose the ability to do things themselves. Right. And that's where the family really has to step in and help in that process. Sure, sure. And then you also mentioned that you guys have some other things that are going on that you would like to tell people about with veterans? Yes, we are starting a Middle Tennessee Alzheimer's military task force. Okay. So I am a military child. All right. My dad's a retired Air Force lieutenant colonel. And one of the first things I did is look around and say, what are we doing specifically for veterans? Because veterans are impacted in a slightly different way by Alzheimer's. I don't know if the public is aware, but veterans who have suffered a traumatic brain injury or PTSD are twice as likely to develop some form of dementia. Wow. When they are hospitalized, a veteran with dementia, their hospital stay is twice as long as the average veteran. So there are resources that we would like to ensure that veterans are aware of. So we are partnering with different organizations like the VA, Operation Stand Down, CommuniServe, the bases, different groups like that. And we're all going to come together and have a conversation and kind of just share and come up with a community list of resources for families whose veteran is living with Alzheimer's. Where can they go? What can they access?
Right.
Because I know that when we have had conversations with some of these veterans groups, we were not aware of all of the things that they could do, and they weren't aware of what we could do.
Sure.
That conversation hadn't happened.
Right.
And we all have the same purpose. It's to support those veterans, to support our community.
Sure.
So we're all going to come together in April and have that conversation and invite veterans to come have that conversation with us.
So veterans can come and listen and hear about all the things that are available? They
can contact me at my email, which is dkoneal@alz.org.
Okay. And I'll put that in the show notes.
Fantastic. If they would like to be a part of this conversation, we would love to have them join us. They just need to contact me, let me know they'd like to come. I will give them the details.
Okay.
And it's important because while we can all share what we have in terms of resources, we need the veterans and active duty to tell us where are the gaps.
Sure.
We have to lay out all our cards.
Right.
And then look to see where are the holes.
Right.
And then it's our job
to find ways to fill those gaps.
Yes, exactly. And that's what we want to do. We want to be able to create resources to fill those gaps and then support those veterans.
Okay, and that'll be in April, correct?
In April,
All right, okay. What else is going on? Anything else?
Well, currently we are asking people to register walk teams.
Okay.
So we have the Walk to End Alzheimer's on October 24th.
Which will be here before you know it.
Before we know it. And it's going to be held at MTSU's Dean Hayes Track and Soccer Stadium.
Okay.
And what we do is all of our resources are free of charge. We have much more beyond the website, the hotline. We have clinical trial match service. We pour money into research. We're the largest nonprofit provider of research dollars in the world.
Wow.
To try and find a treatment and a cure for this disease. But we have to have some way to pay for all that.
Sure, right.
So the way that we do that is we turn and look to our community to help us. So we are asking people to think about forming a friends and family walk team or businesses. This is a great way to do some community outreach.
Right.
Form a walk team. Talk to people, ask them to join, ask them to donate, do maybe little fundraisers throughout the year.
Right.
And then the walk on October 24th is a great way for us to all come together and celebrate what we've been able to do in order to support the mission and the vision that we have. Our vision is a world without Alzheimer's and other dementia. That's our vision. The way we make that happen is through these resources and research.
Exactly, right. We got to help people until we find the cure and then find the cure.
We like to say that this walk is really the biggest support group of the year.
Sure.
Because you are all gathering together and you're looking around and it's nothing but people who have been touched by this disease.
That's right.
And who want to make a difference in regards to the disease.
It's a really beautiful experience, and hopefully we'll have great weather, and that's always helpful.
Fingers crossed.
Right,
yes, because
exactly.
you never know in October.
You don't.
Yeah.
So anything else you'd like to share before we close this one up?
Just a couple of facts and figures about Alzheimer's,
great.
just to let people be aware.
All right.
So Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States.
Okay.
Currently, we have 120,000 people who are impacted with a diagnosis of this disease in Tennessee.
Wow, just in Tennessee alone.
Just in Tennessee alone. Tennessee has the 4th highest death rate from Alzheimer's in the United States.
Wow, I wonder why that is.
Well, it's a combination of factors.
Okay.
One, we do say that Nashville is the Athens of the South due to all of the hospitals, the research, and education going on. So we may have an area where people are being identified more
I see.
in comparison to other areas.
Gotcha. Yep.
Because of education and medical care.
Okay.
Two, our numbers are up because Rutherford County is the fastest growing county in the state.
So lots of people moving here.
Lots of people moving in. We've got an average of, I think the chamber says 23 people a day moving to Rutherford County.
Wow.
The typical person who is a caregiver of somebody with Alzheimer's is 42 years old, female, and caring for children in the family in addition to the parent.
Wow.
So it's quite possible that that person is moving to town for a job, say.
Right.
Bringing that parent with them, and then our numbers are up.
Sure.
So there's a lot of different factors that could be playing into that.
Yeah.
Rutherford County does have the third highest death rate in the state.
Okay.
From Alzheimer's. So it's really something that we need to be aware of. There are different risk factors that you can change.
Okay.
Your ability to possibly develop that disease.
I'm paying attention.
All right. So one would be physical activity.
Okay.
If you are physically active, that helps your brain.
Sure.
Right? Diet. Now this area, we like a meat and three, don't we?
We do.
We do. We love that mac and cheese with that barbecue.
Uh-huh.
That is not great for your brain though.
Okay.
You want to have a well-balanced diet, have that discussion with your doctor. They will help guide you in what would be the best
Kale
diet.
and pears, right?
There was recently an article about kale and pears possibly having a fantastic benefit. So, talk to your doctor, eat those heart-healthy foods.
Sure.
That's going to be helpful. Another thing that you can do to control your risk factor is smoking. Smoking is a risk factor for Alzheimer's.
Okay.
So reducing it or eliminating it altogether.
Wow.
That is going to help your brain.
Okay.
Alcohol in moderation.
Sure.
The more you drink, the more you hurt your brain and your liver, but your brain, it's impactful. Education. The more that you educate your brain, the more you help it. It's a muscle. So think of it that way. The more you exercise that muscle, the stronger it becomes.
So use it or lose it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So the last one I'll leave you with is be social. That helps your brain.
Wow.
When you are social with others, there's a lot going on in your brain. You are doing a lot in terms of language, both receptive, which is understanding what's being said, and expressive. What are you able to express or verbalize? You're having social skills going on in the brain. Am I making eye contact?
Sure.
Are you taking turns in conversation? There's a lot going on. It's a very complex action to be social. So that complexity of that action keeps your brain active.
Wow. I've read that in multiple studies that having a close-knit network improves your life.
Yes.
Especially later in years. So.
Yes, it'll do a lot for you. So that in turn helps your brain.
Yeah, it's amazing. We're social beings, whether we like it or not, right? So we need other people.
We are.
Well, Dena, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for letting me come on.
Thank you for sharing all this information. Again, how can people get in touch with you if they are interested in learning more?
If you would like to learn more about Alzheimer's and the resources we have available, you can email me at dkoneal@alz.org, or you can go to our WALK website.
Okay.
If you go to alz.org/WALK, you can enter in the zip code, find the Rutherford County WALK. All of my contact information is on that page too. While you're there, sign up for the WALK. Have a WALK team.
Also, Chelsea, my wife on here, she commented that we need to tell people about the Gatsby party.
Yes. Oh, thank you for that reminder. I appreciate it. One of our WALK teams is doing a party called a Gatsby party.
That's right.
And the party is a charity party, so it will be supporting the Alzheimer's Association and Amelia's Closet. So the funds for tickets and so forth
Right.
is what is supporting those charities. And we're very grateful for everybody who's bought a ticket so far, but I believe there's still some tickets available.
Okay. All right. Are you going?
I'm not going.
You're not going. Not
I
getting your
can't
20s
convince
card.
my husband to go, and I'm not real good about going by myself.
I understand.
Stuff, so.
I understand. Well, it is March 21st, and
Yes.
you can contact me if you want to buy a ticket, or you can contact you. And so, or there's lots of other people selling tickets too.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, thank you again for coming on.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. And bye, guys.
Bye.